lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 14th of July in the year 2025. Sincere apologies for bringing the news slightly late. This was due to overrunning in our programming. However, here are the news headlines. Zambia seeks increased UAE investment as comprehensive economic partnership agreement talks advance. Health expert cautions public as pneumococcal meningitis cases rise. Government reaffirms commitment to advancing girls' education in LUMEZI. International news, Cameroon's Pop BIYA 92 announces bid for another term. And in sports, Chelsea Football Club crowned champions of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Join us for these and many more exciting stories after the break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Camnet TV broadcasting live on Topstar channel 106 and streaming live on Facebook, YouTube and on the Kenstream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for increased investment from the United Arab Emirates UAE in key sectors of Zambia's economy with a strong emphasis on mining, energy, agriculture and tourism. The president made the remarks at State House during a courtesy visit by UAE Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Shakbut bin Nayan Al Nayan. President Hichilema underscored the importance of concluding the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, which is expected to serve as a framework for enhanced cooperation between the two nations across various sectors. Meanwhile, UAE Minister of State noted a significant increase in trade between the two countries, which has reached $2.2 billion in 2025, a 300% rise. He commended Zambia's openness and commitment to strengthening cooperation and expressed optimism about the successful conclusion of the CEPA, which is expected to boost business and trade between the two nations. And Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mlenga, encouraged the UAE to invest in agriculture and agro-processing, noting Zambia's ambition to establish dedicated agricultural production lines tailored to the UAE market.
Trade has been growing. That's what sustains other things that governments do with each other. That's what justifies our continued relationship, partnership, so to say. And we would like that to continue to grow, to deepen. We know when you have relationships like this, they go through sometimes difficulties, and we want to make sure that we remain resolute to address those rigidities, I call them here, bureaucracy that we experience, so we can expeditiously execute the things that we've agreed to work together. Mopan is a flagship transaction that we did, and we would like to make sure Mopan works and works well.
Strive to a better future to our two countries and reach bigger numbers in terms of bilateral trade, and more importantly strengthen the bridge between our two countries. I am sure that we could conclude the comprehensive economic partnership agreement that would equally benefit the people of two countries and the businesses and the trade between our respective countries.
As we are finalizing the signing of the CEPA, we would also like to extend our invitation to the UAE to invest beyond the mining sector in agriculture and agro-processing. His Excellency has got a vision and an ambition to grow our livestock production and also agricultural production, where we can have dedicated production specifically for the UAE.
Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Malungo Tsangano, has called for deliberate institutional reforms to accelerate women's leadership in the Zambia Police Service, stating that strengthening women's leadership is not just the right thing to do, but the smart thing to do. Speaking as guest of honor during the official opening of the annual Zambia Police Women's Network National Conference held under the theme Empowered to Lead, Strengthening Women's Leadership in the Zambia Police Service, Ms. Tsangano hailed the Zambia Police Service for its progress in gender equality, but warned that more needs to be done to dismantle barriers such as gender stereotypes, limited access to leadership training, and work environments that do not fully support female officers. Meanwhile, Inspector General of Police, Gravel Musamba, in a speech read on his behalf by Police Commissioner Charity Munganga, emphasized that the service's commitment to gender mainstreaming, noting that women now make up 32.1% of the police workforce. And SACOD Executive Director Arthur Muyunda emphasized that women in policing are not just peacekeepers but agents of change, mentors and defenders of human rights. SACOD, in partnership with the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, further pledged continued support for reforms that institutionalize women's voices in security leadership.
While I recognize the progress that has been achieved in promoting gender equality, I'm alive to the fact that challenges still exist because legal frameworks alone are not enough. You will agree with me that gender stereotypes, limited access to leadership training, and work environments that do not fully support women's advancement continue to hinder progress. It will therefore take our collective action as lawmakers, leaders, and citizens to dismantle these barriers. It is for this reason that the Zambia Police Women's Network needs to be fully supported, because its objectives of empowering women with the tools, the voice, and the confidence to lead are noble.
Despite these achievements, we recognize that gender disparities persist both locally and across the Southern African Development Community region. During the SAPCOM General Meeting, member countries, including Zambia, resolved to establish frameworks for monitoring the implementation of gender strategies within policing structures. Among the key outcomes was the creation of the National Women's Police Networks and the holding of annual Women's Conference.
Based on our Zambia Police Officers Staff Surveys, we just concluded 2 weeks ago. We are conscious of the hurdles that include limited promotional pathways, welfare constraints, and resistance to gender-sensitive reforms within the service. These realities must be met not with silence, but with collective will by all concerned citizens and stakeholders. Let this forum not be another event for just talking, but let it be a launchpad for policy shifts, budgetary inclusion, and performance benchmarks that support gender-responsive policing.
A health expert has urged members of the public to take flu-like symptoms more seriously amid a rise in cases of pneumococcal meningitis, warning that mild ailments such as sore throat and fever may signal the early stages of a life-threatening bacterial infection. Dr. Amit Singh, Dean of School of Medicine at Texila American University, Zambia, cautioned that what often begins as a minor throat infection can escalate rapidly if left untreated. Dr. Singh has further advised the public to seek medical attention promptly when experiencing symptoms such as sore throat, fever, and respiratory discomfort. With the disease spread primarily through respiratory droplets, Dr. Singh also reminded the public to adopt preventive hygiene practices that became commonplace during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I'm here to talk about pneumococcal meningitis. So it's a bacterial meningitis, and there are some cases which has been reported in Zambia. And it starts as a nasopharyngeal infection, so sore throat, fever, especially in this cold season. And if not treated in the early stage, the bacteria can reach the blood, and then it reaches the brain by crossing the blood-brain barrier, leading to meningitis. In meningitis, it's a serious concern. There is severe fever, severe headache, seizures, stiff neck, and even this can lead to death, which has also been reported in this country. So my request will be, since a respiratory infection leading to meningitis, and then the treatment is very difficult because we need intravascular antibiotics to treat in this meningitis stage. So please don't ignore the early stages of throat infection, respiratory infection, or any bacterial infection. If you have sore throat, fever, or any other type of infection, please consult your nearest health post and get the treatment from a qualified health professional. For preventive measures, we can have the same preventive measures what we did for COVID. We can use mask, we can go for hand washing, frequent hand washing, because it's a respiratory infection. And anyone who is suffering with cough and fever definitely should cover the face with the mask. That will be my request to everyone.
Government has reaffirmed its commitment to increasing access to both secondary and tertiary education for girls through the Keeping Girls in School program, which currently supports over 750 girls in LUMEZI district. Speaking during the second Keeping Girls in School symposium held in LUMEZI, Acting District Commissioner Malvin Malasha said empowering girls through education is critical for driving long-term societal transformation. Mr. Malasha explained that the program is providing a range of targeted interventions designed to keep girls in school and help them reach their full potential. He noted that the program in LUMEZI is currently supporting 754 girls at secondary school level and an additional 7 at tertiary institutions, underscoring government's effort to create educational pathways that extend beyond basic education. And speaking at the same event, LUMEZI District Board Secretary Zacchaeus Lungu encouraged the beneficiaries of the program to make the most of the opportunity provided by government. The Keeping Girls in School initiative, implemented across Zambia, seeks to reduce dropout rates among girls by addressing economic and social barriers to education, especially in rural areas.
Rural parts of Zambia, including LUMEZI, traditional practices and society norms still impede a girl's education, even now in 2025. Some families fail to recognize that an educated daughter or mother often lacks value and voice in the community. Educated women, for example, like some of the role models we've seen here in gowns, in uniform, and those from other ministries, on the other hand, are agents of change. They can start businesses, create jobs, and contribute significantly to national development. By investing in girls' education, we are investing in Zambia's future.
Since these girls are drawn from social cultural transfer households, I feel giving them quality education implies that they will help their families out of poverty. Lastly, a guest of honor, to the girls, I encourage you to study hard and desist from bad vices which may land you into problems such as the early pregnancies, early marriages, drug addiction, sexuality transmitted diseases.
We now go to Northwestern Province, where Provincial Minister Robert Lihefu has disclosed that the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries in the province has received more than 50,000 doses of the contagious bovine pneumonia CBPP vaccine to help control disease outbreaks among cattle. Mr. Lihefu stated that the province aims to vaccinate 58,000 cattle across the districts of Mwinilunga, Mufumbwe, Manyinga, Kawompo, Zambezi, and Chavuma. The provincial minister made the remarks when he graced this year's 62nd Provincial Agricultural, Industrial, Mining and Commercial Show held at Mitukutuku Showgrounds in Solwezi under the theme Adapting to Climate Change. He also mentioned that plans are in place to rehabilitate the Northwestern Regional Veterinary Laboratory this year to enhance disease diagnosis capabilities in the province. And Northwestern Provincial Show Chairperson Marjorie Dauchi reported that over 100 exhibitors participated in this year's show. Ms. Dauchi expressed her satisfaction with how the exhibitors embraced the theme of climate adaptation this year. Nais has more in the following report.
He has taken time to tour the exhibitor stand to appreciate the products showcased by the farmers, public and private institutions before gracing the 62nd Northwestern Provincial Show. Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu, who was accompanied by Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Kenel Gansod Katambi, Solwezi Mayor Remi Kalepa and other senior government officials disclosed that the province has received over 50,000 doses of contagious bovine pneumonia CBP vaccine, targeting 58,000 cattle in 6 districts in a move to combat livestock diseases.
Government, under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, continues to implement various programs that are targeted at addressing these and other challenges in a bid to foster development. In terms of livestock production, the province has received 58,050 doses of CEPA vaccine. Is targeting to vaccinate 58,000 cattle in 6 districts.
Northwestern Provincial Show Society Chairperson Marjorie Dauchi expressed satisfaction with the theme of climate adaptation, which attracted over 100 exhibitors.
As a show society, we have further introduced a masterclass. This masterclass will provide a platform for experts to show and share insights, practices, and innovations, particularly in areas related to climate change adaptation.
But may I just say, we are, on behalf of the chiefs, we have moved, and indeed we are impressed by the display of what has been put up at this show in terms of agricultural produce, in terms of adaptation.
Exhibitors also spoke at the event.
We understand that agriculture remains a cornerstone for rural livelihoods and economic resilience. That is why, through our Trident Foundation and Kansanshi operations, we continue to invest in sustainable agriculture.
In a vote of thanks after presenting the awards to the winners, the visiting Masaiti District Commissioner, Eni Matutu, urged farmers to continue supporting government climate adaptation strategies and seize opportunities for growth.
I just say, please support the current government. Life is all about peace. We have the peace we have the good governance. All we do is support the government by being innovative, adjusting to the situation brought the climate change.
Krivach Tuta reporting in Solwezi, Northwestern Province.
The governing United Party for National Development, UPND, has attributed its continued success in recent by-elections as a direct result of developmental programs outlined in its party manifesto. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka today, UPND Media Director Max Mowe said the ruling party's performance, even in areas previously considered opposition strongholds, is a reflection of growing public confidence in its governance and development agenda. Mr. Smoe stated that many opposition political parties are struggling to resonate with the electorate because their campaign messages lack relevance and fail to address the real needs of Zambians. He cited the party's recent loss in the Petauke by-election not as a setback but as further evidence of UPND's increasing traction in previously hostile regions. He emphasized that the UPND's commitment to delivering infrastructure, social services and economic opportunities has enhanced the party's credibility, particularly among communities that have historically supported opposition political parties.
It is not different from 2021. In 2021, even if you put all the votes of the opposition together, they are not winning. The trend, voting pattern has not changed. In LUMEZI, which they always glorify as their stronghold, you go there, you put all their votes together, they are losing. And now it's worse, because UPND has improved there. When they were celebrating the Petauke, we knew that even if we lost, we improved. Because in 2021, UPND got 1,500 votes. In a by-election, we got more than 10,000. So we could see that, okay, we are bridging the gap. People are getting the message on cash for work. People are getting the message on CDF. People are getting the message on skills training. People are getting, villagers are getting the message on free education. We knew that they are getting the message on timely distribution of vaccines for animals. For those farmers that are based in those rural areas, they are getting the message. Skills training in carpentry, skills training in general agriculture, skills training in artisanal program, skills training in welding, tailoring and all those. People are getting the message. We knew. And the best message to the people of Zambia for us is what we have done for them. That's why we said we are not rewriting the manifesto, because it is still operational. Free education must be sustained as long as UPND remains. CDF must be sustained. Continuous devolution or decentralization of public funds must be a continuous process. That's what we are saying. We must continue recruiting thousands, meanwhile growing the economy. Growing the manufacturing industry by creating more jobs. Now we can export batteries to 8 countries today.
We now go to Western Province, where acting Induna Lubinda Tanga, Emmanuel Simasiku of Ituku area in the Mulunga district, has appealed to the Ministry of Education and the local authority to prioritize the construction of new infrastructure at Ituku Primary School, which has remained unchanged since its establishment in 1939. Induna Lubinda expressed deep concern over the current state of the school buildings, noting that the aging infrastructure has developed cracks, posing a serious safety risk to both pupils and teachers. He said the deteriorating condition has raised fears among parents and learners, with many worried that the structures may eventually collapse. Supporting the call, local resident Mukosiku Ziame echoed similar concerns, stating that the school has suffered years of neglect. She appealed to the Ministry of Education to construct new classroom blocks to improve learning conditions and safeguard the welfare of pupils. The residents of Ituku hope that their appeal will prompt timely action from the relevant stakeholders to improve the school's infrastructure and promote better learning outcomes for future generations.
School infrastructure is crucial for creating a positive and effective learning environment. Adequate classrooms, proper sanitation, and access to technology are all vital components that directly impact student learning outcomes and well-being. Built in 1939, Ituk Middle Basic School has never seen any new infrastructure, and some community members have raised concerns towards